$125 and I get it to be 4 feet long? Does that sound worth it at all to you? Hey toy fans, so I'm here with another review. Now this is going to be one of those weird reviews because I hardly ever really look at Nerf. Now the last time that I looked at anything Nerf wise, it was that marshmallow popper thing, and I got the link right up there for you. This also coming from Hasbro because they own the license for Nerf and of course Star Wars. Now this has been one of those things where a lot of people, you know, a lot of the Nerfers, this has been one of those blasters that's been kind of a battle because it's not really a good Nerf rifle. Like, it's not something that I would take to competition to play with, but it is kind of cool in what it is. And what it is, let's see if I can get the whole thing up here. Oh my God. With, of course, all the Amazon stickers on there. That's right. It's the Mandalorian Phase Pulse Rifle. And it's the Amban Phase Pulse Rifle. Now, this thing, it's a really cool box. I mean, I love the Mandalorian on there. I think it looks incredible. Now, my box was completely destroyed. And here's the story behind my box. I got this thing on Amazon for half the price, about $66. And it was supposed to be minor defects, and then of course a package that was destroyed. Ended up being that it was a package that was pretty much destroyed. The darts actually came in a little baggie, and the blaster was broken. And I had to try to fix it, and it was the chamber part. And I'll show you when we get into the review portion of it, and we'll have to do the review a lot like this. It broke. And that's one thing that I'm wanting us to keep in mind with the build of this, how easy it might be to break that chamber off. So, before we get into this review of the Amban Phase Pulse Rifle, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe now. Click that like button, let YouTube know that you like what I'm making. Comment down below, I like commenting back to you all, and hit that bell for notifications. That way you can be alerted to anything that comes from me to you, alright? What do you say? Let's get into it. Okay, so this technically is my second time to record this part because my camera's giving me issues. So we're gonna get kind of a low res camera here. I'm really sorry, but work with me, okay? So this is the package, and I mean, go ahead and tell you, like, it's huge. It's 4 feet long, and it's one of those packages that it's like, it's kind of a debate issue because there's not a lot of place to display this. Like, if you have a mantle and like you are on your own, you're living it up as a man, like, I'm gonna put all my stuff, whatever. You have a mantle, I could imagine this going up there really nice and neat with the rifle in it. But otherwise, there's really no place to put this. And a lot of the pre-orders that came from Amazon have shipping labels on the outside of the box. And that's kind of a bothersome thing, because I mean, it's like they leave residue, they leave all sorts of just gunk and junk. Some of these pull up okay, like this one. This one pulls up just okay, but I'm still getting like tears, and it just bothers me. Now, of course, my box is all completely taped up because it was basically a resell. Now, I like certain aspects. Like, I love the mud horns over here. I love the Mandalorian, including the Mandalore writing that's in there. I think that's nice. Even having Den over here, I think looks great. And, you know, we got our Nerf logo over here with, let's see if I can move that over. Yeah, we got our Nerf logo here, which is, you know, what we expect. Moving to the sides, of course, we get, you know, our writing, which I believe says, this is the way. So, you know, that's pretty cool. They've got that writing on there for this is the way. Now, moving to the back, we get this really cool diagram of the Amban Phase Pulse Rifle, which I dig. And it's got some stats over here on the end that are in Mandalore, so, you know, pretty interesting stuff. And that's the box. Now, the box is huge. When you open it up, you get some design, I think, on the inside of the flap. Let's see if I can... Yeah, we get this really pretty drawing of Mando with the rifle itself. Now, I've already taken mine out. We're going to cut some movie magic here. Let's see. Toss that one up. Ah! And this is what we get. Now, this is the pulse rifle. I'm going to have to back this chair up in order for us to get the full size of this thing, like slant it within the screen. This thing is huge. Like I said, 48 inches long. I mean, it's enormous. It does have white plastic on it, which I'm not a big fan of, but it's got some nice, pretty airbrushing up here on the actual, like, electrical tongs of the blaster emitter nozzle. We've got all these really cool pieces. This is apparently taken mold-wise from the movie, or from the TV show, I should say. But I do feel like this area is thick for what we're getting. It's weird, when you go to actually plug it up on your shoulder, it feels weird because this stock feels like it should turn down. And I really wanted some good reference pictures of it, but I believe this is how the stock works. But it's interesting because when you fire, it feels more like you're just, firing from here, Old West style, versus actually like having your hand on the handle and pulling it up, because then you gotta chicken wing it, and that's, with armor and stuff, I don't see that one working well. Now, the gimmick of this is pretty cool, okay? It works like, so you've got a light. I don't know if you can see that. You've got a light on your scope, so you can turn it on and off. And it actually has a built-in timer, so if you leave it on for a certain amount of time, it will turn itself off, which is nice. It's a battery saver method. So how this is supposed to work is once you pull this priming chamber forward, this and then this little guy is supposed to spring up. Now, I told you mine was broken. And what it was actually this whole stem right here was broken off. And I managed to kind of get mine glued back down to the hinge. But in doing so, the spring no longer activates, so it doesn't spring up like it's supposed to, because all the pressure is put on that one joint within this chamber. And it's a really interesting design. Like, it's a cool design, but I can see that if this is primed wrong or dealt with the wrong way, I can see that becoming an issue down the road. And here's the reason why. So, let's say we push that back down, okay? There's an activation switch over here. Now, that also does the noise, but in doing so, that primes the chamber down and keeps that from moving, okay? Of course, that's closed, and then you would fire. Now, let's listen to that again, and I'm gonna hold it up to the mic so you can hear it, okay? Say we'll put it all together. I've heard people say it's very anemic, that it's not very strong as a plunger tube, and yeah, it feels that way. I shot across the house at 30 feet. It was already starting on a downward slope, so it's not a very powerful Nerf blaster as it is. And that's something to definitely keep in mind. All in all, like, the aesthetics of it look nice. We got paint application on both sides, but with a premium blaster, when we start covering the screw holes on certain pieces here, and we got a little carbinger that feels like it's about to break off, they get us the body of this, but then when we start getting up into these areas, all the screw holes are now visible again. And it kind of makes you wonder, like, what's the end game? Like, there's one screw that I know should be available, and it's the battery compartment here that's conveniently stuck in this kind of shock barrel aspect of the rifle. But after that, why not cover the other ones that are in there? We're spending $125 on this. Now, again, I got mine for $66 off Amazon. And it's one of those things, I got such a good deal on it. I was like, hey, you know, maybe I'd be okay with the fact that this piece is broken and it's not working the way it's supposed to. And honestly, I've got to tell you, I love the Mandalorian Amban phase pulse rifle, but I do feel like a lot of the sizing up here with the plunger system and the actual dart and cartridge system feels a little oversized. It doesn't actually feel like it curves correctly in order to support the hand. And I'm not as keen on the all white deco. I could imagine keeping this white for safety, maybe these pieces white, but I'd like to see these actually go back into the charcoal or even like a silver in order to really sell this more as a premium deco rifle. And I don't really feel that the color scheme of the all white lends to that. That's something I bring up because I have already pre-ordered the M41A pulse rifle from Aliens and the EE3 rifle from the Book of Boba Fett. And there's a part of me that's wondering if they should be canceled and sent off, because they are trying to make this pre-order system seem like you have to get it because you won't get it any other way. But with this is showing up on Amazon, it's showing up on GameStop, it's showing up on eBay and other sellers for, you know, lower prices than what Hasbro Pulse was sending off for it. And to top it off, this is still available to purchase from Hasbro. So the exclusivity of it doesn't seem, you know, as big of a selling point anymore, because of the fact that, you know, now we know for most of these we can get them anywhere. All in all, I think the blaster is okay. And, you know, I love the fact that they give us, you know, 10 of these silver darts. There's actually nowhere to store or keep them. It would have been nice in the package to have a spot where we could plug them up and display them that way, but we don't. And that was kind of one of those areas that I was thinking about, like, what am I going to do? How am I going to display this? And I thought, well, I could display it in the hall, but then it just wouldn't seem right, and I've run out of room in here to display something that's 4 foot long. I'm already having a hard enough time with the Mariner and his ship. So with that one, I think I'm going to give it up. I think I'm going to send it back and get my money back, because of the fact that it's oversized. Mine doesn't even work correctly. And I don't know. It's cool as a Star Wars display piece for the Mandalorian. It's awful as being an actual Nerf playing toy. It's cool with the sound effects, but it's awful for wanting to take this out for cosplay, because you got to keep in mind, many cosplays won't even allow you to have a working trigger. And if it fired darts or caps at any point, they tell you have to take it off the floor. So it's one of those, I mean, unless you're really wanting to repaint this, which I'm hearing how this take apart with a lot of the plastic welding and stuff is downright a disaster to even take this apart. It makes you wonder if it's even worth it, especially knowing that Target has the same plunger system, Sans Electronics, for about $50 to $60 online. It kind of makes you wonder if this is actually worth the price. Now, this is still available in the market, believe it or not. Everyone's got it. So if you're deciding to go out and look for this, you can pretty much find it anywhere. However, if you want to look for it for a really good price, I'd say good luck with the toy hunt.
This episode of T-Ray Gun was sponsored by Marvin Dog Media. To learn more about Marvin Dog Media, visit www.marvindogmedia.com.
If you liked the video, be sure to hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below to let YouTube know that you like what I'm making. And be sure to hit that bell notification so you get updates to future content.